Pokemon, what a great franchise. It spawned merchandise, an anime, the card game, and of course, the portable games. The Pokemon games were always known for the interesting concept of catching and raising Pokemon to conquer the gym leaders, the Elite Four, and most importantly, the champion. The idea of raising Pokemon to grow and become stronger creatures requires a lot of strategy and dedication. Just look at all the competitive players today. And that is why this list will be about my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Keep in mind, these are only Pokemon that I've used in my personal playthroughs, but I will be discussing why they are also good competitively. So, without further ado, let's get started. Water types aren't always meant for pure offense, they're mostly meant for being very bulky. Octillery, on the other hand, is a great mixed attacker. On top of that great offense, it can learn a huge variety of moves. The moves that it can learn range from water, ice, electric, poison, fire, and even grass type moves. That's not even the half of it. Competitively, its hidden ability Moody can boost and lower random stats. If you get the right boost, this thing can hurt. And also, it's based on a tank, and tanks are cool. The only thing I would be cautious of is its low speed. But if you could somehow get past that, it's a great damage dealer. There's just one thing that's missing though, Mega Evolution. Come on, Game Freak, where's Octillery's Mega Evolution? I can imagine it being part Steel type. That'll be the coolest thing ever. The Johto region is one of my favorite Pokemon regions. Hell, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver are my favorite Pokemon games. Like at the beginning of every adventure, you have a choice to pick one of 3 starter Pokemon. No surprise, most people pick the fire type Cyndaquil. When they finally brought it to level 36, it evolved into the badass known as Typhlosion. Typhlosion has identical stats to Charizard, so if you use him in red and blue, Typhlosion shouldn't be too hard to get used to. It has great special attack and speed, and not too shabby attack. Competitively, if you give Typhlosion choice specs and spam Eruption, you're guaranteed to do some serious damage to the other team. And Typhlosion's design is awesome too. It's a giant beast that has fire shooting out of its back. You can't say that's not cool. I'd say that Typhlosion is one of the better fire types out there. Do you like fortresses? Do you like things that fight? Do you like fortresses that fight? Well, too fucking bad because they don't exist, but that's okay. Fortress is still a beloved Pokemon nonetheless. Fortress is crazy physical defense, but it's not just a sitting duck. It has good attack, so while it takes physical attacks like a champ, it deals great damage as well. Competitively, Fortress is mostly used to set up field traps such as Stealth Rock, Spikes, Toxic Spikes, etc. And if a trap is set up on your side, just use Rapid Spin. With its useful ability Sturdy, which makes it hang on with 1 HP after taking an attack that would normally knock it out in one hit, it is guaranteed to get at least 1 trap off. But the best part, it has cannons, bitch! You may look at Whimsicott's stats and say, what the shit? But that's okay. Do you know why? Boom, Prankster. Prankster gives +1 priority to all non-attacking moves. Competitively, Whimsicott will make your opponent cry. I have myself a Whimsicott that knows Substitute, Encore, Toxic, and Leech Seed, and it also holds leftovers. What's that? You're setting up? Let me just use +1 Encore so that you keep using that same move over and over while I use Toxic and Leech Seed on you. What's that? The Encore ended. Let me just use another +1 Encore. What's that? You're going to use a status move on me. I'm predicting that you're going to do that, so I'm just gonna throw up a substitute to completely block it. What's that? You're going to try and break it. I'll just use my +1 Encore so that you keep using your status move while I'm in my substitute. What's that? It ended. I'll just use +1 Encore again. In fact, while you're being greatly damaged by Toxic and Leech Seed, I'm in my substitute, stealing your health with Leech Seed and gaining even more with leftovers. Are you mad yet? Steel type is the most offensive type in the game with many resistances, and Psychic is one of the most offensive types due to high special attack or sometimes attack. What do you get when you combine Steel's bulk with Psychic's power? You get Metagross. Metagross has very high physical attack and defense, along with some nice special stats. Surprisingly, this Pokemon is quite fast for how it looks. When it Mega Evolves, this thing is a true terror. Along with its boosted physical attack and defense, its speed also gets greatly increased. And with its Tough Claws ability, all of its contact moves will pack a huge punch. It even has an intimidating design, which only furthers its reputation of being awesome. This is one metallic monster you don't want to piss off. Lugia is my favorite legendary Pokemon. It's not only because of its majestic design, but because of its power. Not only are both its offensive stats good, but it has even better defensive stats. Its defensive stats are so good that they're even better than a Dusclops's without an Eviolite. To back up those high defenses, it also has a lot of HP. Competitively, Lugia is guaranteed to take a good amount of hits. This is partly because of its hidden ability, Multiscale. This allows a Pokemon to take half damage from any attack when it's at full HP. With access to Roost, Lugia can bring itself to full HP very easily. Weirdly enough, it also has very high speed. Not very many bulky Pokemon are fast. With this high speed, Lugia can get off a lot of moves before the opponent even can. If you want a fast wall that can fight back, look no further than Lugia. Ninjask may be the perfect Pokemon for setting up, but Scolipede is another Pokemon to consider. Scolipede's stats aren't exactly the best thing about this Pokemon. The best thing, however, are its moves. With access to Iron Defense, it can greatly increase its physical defense capabilities. It can even learn Steamroller, which is a fairly powerful Bug-type move that can cause the target to flinch. While Scolipede is good in casual play, competitive play is where it really shines. Competitively, Scolipede has Speed Boost as its hidden ability. It can even learn Swords Dance and Baton Pass. Sound familiar? Unlike Ninjask, however, it is a lot less frail, so it can use those speed and attack boosts without going down in one hit. Ninjask, on the other hand, is the fastest Pokemon if you don't count Deoxys' speed form. Either would be fine though. With Scolipede's access to moves such as Steamroller and more, I guess you could say it would flatten the opponent's Pokemon. Oh come on, that was a good one. Dragon types were considered to be the most overpowered type. That is until Fairy type hit the scene. Even then, they are still very destructive forces of nature, especially Salamis. Salamis is capable of dealing a lot of damage, and quickly. This is because it is a very fast mixed attacker. It can also take hits well with its good defenses and health. Competitively, it is an amazing sweeper. If you have a Pokemon with Speed Boost and Swords Dance and pass that on to Salamis, it will destroy the other team. Even if its attack isn't maxed out, Moxie will raise it every time it knocks out a Pokemon. If you'd rather have Salamis for pure offense without the need for boosts, the Game Freak's got you covered. Its Mega Evolution is very fast and deadly. With its ability Aerolate, it turns all normal type moves into flying type. Just give this thing Return with max happiness along with Stab, and it will do insane damage. Even if it gets burned, which halves attack, Salamis has access to Refresh. Low on health? Don't worry, just use Roost. Just be careful of ice types. They will destroy Salamis if they land an attack on it. All in all, a solid Pokemon to use. The Choice Band is one hell of an item. Sure, you may be locked into the move you chose until you switch, but it gives physical moves 50% more power. A Choice Band is usually given to a Pokemon with moves such as U-Turn or Retaliate. Speaking of Retaliate, it does double damage when one of the Pokemon on your user's team have fainted the turn before. Normal types not only have that double power, but Stab, and the Choice Band boost. What normal type has an insane attack stat? You guessed it, Slacking. Slacking has the second highest attack stat of any Pokemon if you don't count attack form Deoxys, with Rampardos being number 1. What Slacking has that Rampardos doesn't is great physical bulk, backed up with a huge amount of HP and high speed. Yes, Slacking, the lazy Pokemon, is fast. Maybe that was Game Freak trying to put irony in a Pokemon game. About that Retaliate strategy with Slacking, as soon as one of your Pokemon faint, switch into Slacking immediately. If you can land a Retaliate on the opponent's side after your Pokemon fainted, you're almost guaranteed to knock it out. That is unless it's up against a Rock, Ghost, or Steel type. That's okay, as Slacking can learn Fire Punch for those Steel types. For both Rock and Steel, Slacking can learn a handful of Fighting type moves. You're probably thinking, but wait, how will Slacking deal with Ghost types? Simple. If you can predict your opponent is about to switch into Ghost type when they think you're going to use Retaliate, hit him with a Night Slash. Not only does it have a high critical hit ratio, but it's coming from a Slacking's base 160 attack. You probably think Slacking is broken as all hell, but they very easily balance Slacking by giving it the ability Truant, which allows it to attack every other turn. Smart move, Game Freak. Smart move. While I love every Pokemon on this list and gave my reasoning for each, I feel that what I'm about to say is very conclusive. This Pokemon not only has my favorite design, but is great in battle and learns a lot of deadly moves. This Pokemon is none other than Delibird. Wait, what the fuck? I didn't write this shit. Who? Why, you little... Get your ass over here, you flying piece of... While I love every Pokemon on this list and gave my reasoning for each, I feel that what I'm about to say is very conclusive. This Pokemon not only has my favorite design, but is great in battle and learns a lot of deadly moves. This Pokemon is none other than Zangoose. First, let's talk about design. Sheer badassery. Not only does it have claws that can rip a human apart, but its stance gives it such a fearless look. It also has red coloration to make it appear as if it has scars, such as on its eyes and across its chest. It's just so cool. Okay, now that I'm done gushing over Zangoose's design, let's talk about its battling capabilities. Zangoose is best used as a sweeper, as it has high attack and good speed. It can learn very powerful physical moves such as Slash, Brick Break, Crush Claw, Close Combat, Aerial Ace, etc. Unfortunately, all of its other stats are pretty low. This may mean that its defensive capabilities are lacking, but it is all made up for when you look at Zangoose from a competitive standpoint. Since Zangoose is made to be a sweeper, it is good to have a Jolly nature on it, which increases speed and decreases special attack. You're also going to want it to have its hidden ability, Toxic Boost, which raises its attack by 50% when poisoned. And make sure that it's holding a Toxic Orb, which will poison it on the end of the turn that it was sent out on. Finally, give it the move Facade, which does more damage when the Pokemon has a status condition. If you want, maybe throw in Swordsdance and use it if you can find a safe turn to use it on. Congratulations, you have one of the deadliest sweepers in competitive play. Not only does Facade get Stab, but it gets boosted from Zangoose's Poison status, and it gets boosted even further from Toxic Boost. On top of all that, Zangoose is fast, so you will do huge amounts of damage to the opposing team. Just be careful of Zangoose's frailty and toxic damage. While Zangoose may not be my favorite Pokemon competitively, that would be Whimsicott, Zangoose is my favorite Pokemon overall. From its awesome design to its usefulness in battle, Zangoose is a Pokemon that I will always remember as my favorite. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you thought it was good, rock smash that like button, and if you thought it was really good, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. I'm currently working on the aftergame of my Pokemon Coliseum Let's Play. If you're into Pokemon, check it out. I have to warn you though, I was a bit rusty in the beginning, but I feel like my commentary and how I went about my videos progressively got better. If you enjoy those too, leave likes on them. But anyway guys, I'm Nitro Nick, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.